Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to our new video. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to our new video. So last time Hasib did a podcast with Talha Siddiqui and it was a great experience with him and a great podcast with him. So now fourth podcast is on the way. This is the fourth episode of Across the World, and today our guest is Mcgrath. So welcome Mcgrath. So Mcgrath, how are you? And I hope you are doing well. So introduce a little bit yourself.
Hi there, Muhammad. It's Rob Mcgrath here from Australia. My profession, I'm an account manager for a finance company, and my background is I played cricket since I was probably 10 years of age. Up until now, I still play on the weekends. I love cricket. Cricket is my hobby. I play it on every weekend in summer, and in my off time, I like to watch a few games as well. So keep it interested in who's going well, what teams are performing, things that could be doing better. But I love the entertainment of the game. It's a great hobby of mine, and most enjoyable thing is scoring runs on the weekend.
So Rod, you told me that you are an account manager and you follow cricket, and you are a cricket fan, obviously Australian cricket fan. So let me ask you that you are a cricket lover, Australian cricket lover, and Australian cricket is much older than Pakistan cricket. So as a Australian cricket lover, what suggestion do you want to give to Pakistan cricket to improve their cricket, their standards and all?
What could Pakistani be doing better? I
Yep.
suppose Australia has a great depth of cricket.
Yep.
From junior cricket coming upwards, they've got the Australian Institute of Sport and a lot of good coaching facilities as well. So I think maybe a little bit more emphasis could be put towards the junior development and scouting of the young cricketers coming through as well. Maybe getting a few of the great Australian coaches or coaches that are available to help coach the Pakistan junior development squad and put a lot of more emphasis in them and getting the quality players through the ranks quicker to boost the from the junior to the state level, and then make a little bit more competition coming through to the up and coming national team as well. Because if you look at the way the Australian cricket has gone, the Sheffield Shield for years has been very, very strong and very, very hard to get into the Australian squad and teams as well. So maybe if they can boost the development of the juniors, get a better and more competitive state league there, maybe grab a few of the Australian coaches or the great coaches around the world, look for good development squad coaches and national coaches as well, and you should see the results coming through a lot better. With Pakistan, sometimes they're strong in the one-day international or the T20 comps, but they just need a little bit of work on the test arena. And I think the Australians lead by example in the fielding as well. So Pakistani can sometimes be a little bit sloppy in the fielding as well. You look at the Australian slip cordon a few years ago, they very rarely drop catches. They're sharp in the field, they're well coached, they're well disciplined, they train hard, they've got the disciplines and the fundamentals. I think Pakistan can follow their leading examples, but they've got to get the best coaches in the world and the best junior development squads coming through and make it hard to get into those national teams. It's like the Australian, back in the day, there was, Jamie Siddons. He was averaging over 50 in the state league.
So heading towards my next question, that who is your all-time favorite cricketer from Pakistan side and then from Australia side? So if we talk about mine, all-time favorites will be from Pakistan first. Muhammad Amir. I like Muhammad Amir. His style, and his spell against India in Champions Trophy 17. I was very young at that time, like 2009 or something. He got the wicket of Sachin Tendulkar, but I have seen the videos of it on YouTube, Facebook, and yep, Sachin Tendulkar. Indians say that he's a god of cricket. Sachin Tendulkar is god of cricket. He's a good player. He's a great player. So Muhammad Amir has a wicket of Sachin Tendulkar, and obviously that's a great achievement. And like a spell, 2009 World Cup final spell against Sri Lanka, alongside Abdul Razak. He bowled a great spell, and then in Champions Trophy, as I said earlier, and then he's a great bowler, and batsman will be all time. Shoaib, I was a fan of Shoaib Malik, and my upcoming all time favorite from Pakistan will be Shadab Khan. I like him. He's a great leggy and he's a great batsman, and he should be promoted up order on fourth or fifth number, and I like him. He's a complete package, a great all-rounder. And if we talk about Australia, I like Mitchell Johnson. He's a different breed. People talk about Mitchell Stark. Yep, I admit Mitchell Stark is a great bowler. He was 2015 World Cup man of the tournament, but Mitchell Johnson was a different breed, bowling in Australian stadiums with a swing and all. Yep, I like him. He was a great bowler, and I like Steve Smith currently, and he will be my all-time favorite from Australia. And upcoming all-time favorite from Australia will be Marnus Labuschagne. He's a great batsman. So heading towards you, who's your favorite Pakistani and Australian cricketer of all time?
He was my favourite Pakistani and Australian cricketer of all time. I'll start with Pakistan first. It's very hard to go past the great Wasim Akram. The reverse swing was something that was new at that time and was very rare. He could swing the ball both ways, and he was an absolute genius. You know, I liked other players that were close by, such as good entertainment players such as Shahid Afridi and Waqar Yunus and that. But Wasim Akram, he takes the cake. He was an absolute great bowler and could swing it both ways with his left arm over the wicket. Bowling was an absolute menace to all danger batsmen around the world, and no one could really play him. And it took him a long time to get used to that reverse swing, and he was the king. He was the best for Pakistan. Great Australian player of all time. You have to go past. You can't go past the great Stephen Waugh. What a captain he was. He led the Australians through thick and thin. He was tough as nails. And if you ever needed a batsman that you wanted to bat for your life, it was the great Stephen Waugh. You know, he was tough as nails. He was hard. He was a resilient captain. But he seemed to have all the answers, you know, and he was not only a great batsman, but a great leader and a great captain. If you look at his 99 World Cup final, you know, the saying was that you've dropped the World Cup. And he was tough as nails, and they went on to win that World Cup against, they beat South Africa, then won the final thereafter that. But he was the best Australian that I can remember. Tough as nails, but the best captain Australia's ever seen. There may be better batsmen, you know, such as maybe possibly Stephen Smith and a few others, but he was the greatest leader.
Okay, so you told about your favorite cricketers, Wasim Akram, great Waqar Yunus, and Shahid Afridi, and Steve Smith, as you told, and yep, they were great cricketers. So heading towards my next question, that you know, uh, Australian stadiums. Australian stadiums have a sponsorship deals with some brands, some companies, they have a stadium, Optus Stadium is a mobile phone company like Samsung, Infinix, Apple, Vivo. And if we talk about everybody knows about Marvel, what is Marvel. And then in football, stadiums, if you talk about FC Barcelona, Their main sponsor is Spotify, and their stadium name is Spotify Camp Nou. And Ramiz Raja, the PCB chairman, said that in National Stadium Karachi and Gaddafi Stadium Lahore, we will try to bring sponsors, and obviously the stadium's name will be named after the sponsorship deals. Like if we have a brand here, it's a fabric brand here, J. Junaid Jamshed. So what if we name like this? J. National Stadium Karachi or J. Stadium Karachi looks bit cool. Yep, and if we talk about our second sponsor, I'm just giving examples. These are not going to be sponsors, but I'm using it just for examples. And second sponsor will be what to say? Okay. Kenwood is a electronic brand like fridge, AC, air conditioners, and juicers, blenders, and all. So Kenwood Gaddafi Stadium Lahore or Kenwood Stadium Lahore. So it will be cool, and sponsorship brings money, and sponsors give money to the management because they are writing their names on their stadiums. So yep, sponsors bring money. So what do you think? Is it a good move or not?
Now I'll talk about the stadiums. I think sponsorship has a big role to play in the Pakistan cricket, which they're not utilising much at all. Like if you look back into the 1990s in Australian cricket, you had the Benson and Hedges World Cup, the World Series. You have VB as the major sponsors as well. They've been very successful, and a number of other major sponsors across the years for Australian cricket, which has been very, very successful. Now, I think Pakistan need to implement a similar thing. Sponsorship names and things like that have been very successful. You see at the MCG, they've recently commended the great Shane Warne on the Shane Warne stand, a legend of the game. Arguably, one of the greatest Australian spinners of all time. So I think Pakistan need to try and implement something similar to what Australia's done with the sponsorship. It's been very successful over a number of years, not just recently. And it gets a bit more promotion in the game, and also the sponsors can make good money as well. So I think they should jump on board.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So by the way, on 23rd of October, it was your birthday. So happy birthday from Team The Hustlers, Muhammad Hasnain and Muhammad Hasib. So 23rd October, I can't forget that day. 23rd October, Pakistan versus India match. Pakistan lost it, but cricket won, and it was a great game of cricket. So okay, leave it. Just can't talk about the match. It was like a nightmare for me and for all Pakistani fans. So congratulations, Australia is the defending champion of 2020 World Cup, and the host is also Australia. So congratulations, Road Mcgrath.
So, Mohammed, you've seen that Australia has won the T20 World Cup recently. Pakistan, they show potential at times, but they seem to fade away in the big moments in games, which is disappointing, considering they've got a bit of talent there. What do you think is lacking in the Pakistan side, or what do you think they could do to, improve to make them number one or, contenders to potentially win the next World Cup? Australia's shown that they had a slow start and then picked up the reins as they normally do. But why is it that they could do it in Pakistan are just slightly off the pace or never really get to their full potential since the early 90s when the great Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus, Inzamam Haq were playing? They haven't really got back to that level for a while. But do you think Pakistan could win the next T20 World Cup? And if so, what changes do they need to implement to do so?
I don't know about Pakistan. What's lacking? If we talk about 2021 Cup, we played 5 games and won all of them against Namibia, Scotland, New Zealand, India, and Afghanistan, obviously. But we played semi-final against Australia, lost it, but it was not a one-sided match. And back to 2010 World Cup, Mike Hussey versus Saeed Ajmal, 21 of the last over, and 2015 World Cup quarter final against Australia, Pakistan lost it badly. And in 2019 World Cup, Pakistan lost a group match against Australia, but we can't label them as a chokers because we have won 2017 Champions Trophy against India. So, yep, we can't say Pakistan team choke. I will say just that Pakistan team just can't handle the pressures of big games. We lost last Asia Cup final against Sri Lanka. We literally bottled against Sri Lanka and also against Australia in 2021 World Cup. But hope for the best. We are playing 2022 World Cup, and inshallah Pakistan will win it. So, Ron Mcgrath, thanks for your time, and it's a bye from my side, and it was a great experience hosting you.